I have officially unlocked the Dark Matter camo in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So today I want to do my full guide on how to unlock the Dark Matter camo in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 as honestly just a normal person. I'm not a streamer who plays the game for 12 plus hours a day and is constantly streaming the game and is playing for a bunch of people, and I'm definitely not a pro player who plays the game professionally and competes in the game for thousands or millions of dollars or whatever. I'm nowhere near that skill level. I'm nowhere near that level in general, and I just don't fall into either one of those categories. I'm not a streamer and I'm not a pro player. I'm not putting an astronomical amount of time into the game each and every day. I'm really just a normal person with normal stats. My stats are really nothing special. I don't have a crazy high KD. I don't have a crazy high win-loss. Really, I'm just an average player. So I truthfully believe if someone like me can get the Dark Matter camo, then you can too. With that being said, the way I want to do this guide is I want to just give you all the tips that I have collected and learned throughout the grind to be able to get the Dark Matter camo. I know most guides, they kind of break down exactly how to get the camo and how to obtain it, but really I think the way to get the camo is very clear and very straightforward. Especially this year, it's super clear on how to get the camo. You just get your 100 headshots doing all those military camos, and then once you get your 100 headshots done, you're then able to do the 2 special camos, which are usually 2 different various challenges. And then after you complete the 2 special camos, you then unlock the gold camo. And then once you unlock the gold camo on that weapon is good for now. And then once you get your gold camo on every single weapon within a set category, so let's say you get your gold camo on all your ARs. Now all your ARs have the gold camo. You could then unlock the diamond camo for your ARs, and then you could do the diamond camo for all your ARs. And then now you just need to do that for just 33 weapons within the game. So you just need to get 33 weapons diamond, meaning per se you do all your assault rifles, your SMGs, your LMGs, your sniper rifles, your marksman rifles, your pistols, and your melee weapons. Oh, and your shotguns as well. Let's say you do all of those, get all of those weapons diamond. You'll then unlock the Dark Spine Challenge. And then once you do the Dark Spine Challenge on all 33 weapons you just did. So you go back, do all your ARs, all your SMGs, all your snipers, so on and so forth. Once you do all 33 weapons that you just did, you'll then unlock the Dark Matter camo. And then from there, you can kind of pick and choose what guns you want to get Dark Matter, or you can get Dark Matter on the 33 weapons that you just did. Really, it's up to you. So if you want to do the Dark Matter challenge on just your ARs and just your SMGs, that's perfectly fine. You could do that and then the grind is over. If that's all you want Dark Matter on, then you're good. But if you want Dark Matter on all 33 weapons that you just completed, then you can go ahead and do that. You could do the Dark Matter challenge for all 33 weapons, and you'll actually receive an additional calling card for completing Dark Matter on all 33 weapons. Now personally, that's what I did. I went back and got Dark Matter on all 33 weapons that I did personally, which I did all the assault rifles, including the new DLC one, the Krieg C. I did all the SMGs, including the new one, the SOG. I did all the shotguns, all the LMGs, all the marksman rifles, all the sniper rifles, all the pistols, and the baseball bat and knife. I did not do the rocket launchers, and I did not do the power drill. Reason being is because the Krieg C and the SOG were my per se substitute weapons to kind of allow me to not have to do the rocket launchers. And then the power drill, and actually there's another new weapon that just came out. It's like a special weapon. Those are just extra weapons. You don't have to do those unless you want to. Really, you just have to get 33 weapons Dark Spine to be able to unlock the dark matter challenge. And that's super, super important. And I'll go over that again within my tips. But other than that, there's really not much to talk about when it comes to how to do the grind. I feel like it's a very straightforward, and as a normal person, as your average person just playing the game, I feel like you could easily figure out how to get dark matter and follow what's laid out for you to be able to get it. I don't think I have to explain it in depth, right? And I feel like that's what most guides do. They kind of break down exactly how to get it, and that's not what I want to do. I just want to give you a couple tips to make the grind a little bit easier for you and to just help you out with the grind. But yeah, so getting right into the tips, you need to know that your stats will drop, like your KD, your win-loss, etc. So whatever your stats are looking like right now, they're most likely going to drop by a good amount, especially a KD. It'll probably drop by a good maybe 0.20 around there, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. It kind of all depends. I know when I first started the grind, I almost had a 1.60 KD, and now with the grind completely finished, I have a 1.43 KD. So my KD dropped significantly, which is something you have to accept when doing this grind. You're going to be using weapons that you don't necessarily want to be using, and weapons they don't find to be that good, as well as you're going to be doing challenges that are going to be a little annoying and can be frustrating and can cause you to have really bad games, as well as just challenges that are going to take you out of your comfort zone and force you to do things that are going to make you have bad games. So really, it's a given that if you want to get the dark matter camo and you want to complete this grind, you have to be willing to let your stats drop. And really, at the end of the day, I feel like stats don't matter. It's not like anyone can see them but you, and even if people could see them, why does it matter? It really shouldn't matter at all. So honestly, I wouldn't even be looking at your stats at all. They're gonna drop. It's whatever. It's just something you have to accept. Also, you're gonna wanna back out of lobbies that are too hard. So let's say you get into a lobby and it's just filled with a bunch of sweats who are just using the meta weapons and are just trying their absolute hardest. They're acting like they're pro players and they're out here playing for $1 million, and you know, it's just way too hard of a lobby to even get your challenges done. Just back out of the lobby. It's honestly not even worth it to play a lobby like that, just because you're not going to progress at all. You're not going to be able to, you know, go after whatever challenge that you're going after when you have someone who's just trying to like go after like a nuke or something and is just completely frying you and your whole team. It's not worth it to stay in a lobby like that. Unfortunately, with skill-based matchmaking though, sometimes you can't really escape a bad lobby. I know I've had times where like I'll get into a really, really hard lobby that's just filled with what feels like pro players, and I'll back out and it'll just put me into another lobby that's just filled with pro players again. It kind of feels like sometimes it's inevitable. Like you just have to play out that bad lobby just to get a good lobby again. So if that's the case where like you get a bad lobby, you back out, you get another bad lobby, you back out, and after that you get another bad lobby, clearly at that point, you know, skill-based matchmaking is just doing its thing, and it's trying to ruin your experience. So you just have to play through that bad lobby and, you know, tough your way through it, and then hopefully after that you'll get another good lobby again. It's unfortunate that the game is like this, but you know, with skill-based matchmaking and the rest of the matchmaking systems in place, sometimes you just, you know, have to deal with it. And it sucks, but that's just the way things are. Moving on, as I kind of touched on earlier, you should know that you could substitute DLC weapons for base weapons. So for example, you do not have to do the rocket launchers. If you were still doing the dark matter grinds and you haven't done rocket launchers yet, you do not need to do the rocket launchers. Or if you're just starting out the grind to get dark matter, you do not have to do the rocket launchers. It's not required. You don't have to do it. Don't touch them. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth your time. It's not worth going after them. I didn't do them. I did not want to do them at all. Did not want to touch them. And I'm happy that I didn't, because I know it just would have been a bunch of stress trying to get them done. So just so you know, you do not have to do the rocket launchers. You could substitute the rocket launchers for DLC weapons, meaning you could substitute the rocket launchers for, you know, like the Krieg C and the SOG, because there's only 2 rocket launchers. So you just substitute the rocket launchers with 2 DLC weapons. Again, that being the Krieg C and the SOG. Those are much easier to use, and you can get the challenges done for them a lot quicker and a lot easier compared to doing rocket launchers. And honestly, if you know you're still working on the grind and another 2 bullet weapons come out, you know, maybe it's another sniper or another SMG or another LMG or whatever the case might be, I would use those to skip out on the melee weapons, because while the knife isn't bad, the baseball bat sucks. The baseball bat is one of the worst weapons I've ever used. I hated using that thing, and it was definitely the worst weapon I used in the grind. So I'd recommend that if you can avoid using the baseball bat, then definitely do so, whether that's not doing the melee weapons altogether and just substituting 2 other DLC weapons for the melee weapons, or maybe another melee weapon releases that's a lot easier than the baseball bat, then you could just do the knife and that other melee weapon. But at the end of the day, to be able to get dark matter just requires you to do 33 weapons. That's it. It doesn't specify what 33 weapons you have to do. So you can substitute as many DLC weapons as you want for base weapons, and you don't have to do all the DLC weapons as well. If DLC weapons are releasing left and right, you don't have to do all of those. They don't get added to your grind. You only have to do the DLC weapons if you want to do the DLC weapons. It's not required. So let's say a new weapon comes out and it's a sniper rifle, but you don't really like snipers. You don't have to do it. It's fine. You just have to do 33 weapons in total. It doesn't matter what 33 weapons they are. So I hope that clears that up and helps you out. Additionally, if you get mad or upset while going after a challenge or just, you know, playing the game in general, just take a break. It's honestly just the best thing to do. You need to be taking breaks, as it'll help. Taking breaks is essential, especially if you're just a normal person. You're not a streamer, you're not a pro player, you're not playing in front of a bunch of people. You don't need to be, you know, constantly just grinding the game. Just take a break. I take so many breaks. Like I'll literally play for 30 minutes, an hour, and then I'll go take a, you know, 20-minute break, come back, play a little bit more. And then if I get to a point where I feel like I'm just getting bad lobbies or I'm just not doing good, I'll just get off. There's no point in continuing to play if you're stressed out or you're mad or you're upset with the game or whatever the case might be. There's no point in playing if it's just stressing you out. So take breaks, or if you need to, just stop playing the game for a few hours, or even just stop playing for that day and play the next day or whatever the case might be. But if you're stressed out and, you know, you're mad playing the game, just stop playing, take a break. You know, it's the best thing you could do for you and your mental health, because honestly, you don't want to get mad at the game. That'll just ruin the grind and it'll ruin the experience. Furthermore, a tip that helped me out might not necessarily be something you want to do, but it kind of helped me to make, or should I say, it helped me to keep things fresh and to make the grind a little bit easier. Made it not as rewarding, but it definitely made things a little bit more fresh. And what that thing is I used a short range weapon on short range maps or on small maps, and then I used a long range weapon on bigger maps. So really, depending on the map, I would kind of switch up what weapon I would use. So like if the map was really small, I'd be using my SMGs or my shotguns or my pistols. But then if the map was a little bit bigger, then I would be using my ARs, my marksman rifles, my sniper rifles. This allowed me to keep things fresh as I was switching between different weapons. Now, it made it a little less rewarding because I wouldn't get a gun done as fast because I'd be working on 2 different weapons pretty much at like the same time. Just it depended on what map I was getting. But honestly, for me, it made the grind easier. If it's something that you don't want to do, that's perfectly fine. But it helped me out to make things just feel a little bit more fresh for me instead of just staying on the same gun the whole time without switching to a different one. So I just figured if it's something that you think might help you out, then definitely try it out. Likewise, if you want to speed up the grind a little bit and you kind of just want to get through it as quickly as you can, then I recommend playing hardcore face off or hardcore nuketown, as it'll make getting headshots easier and other challenges easier. Also, it'll help for the weaker guns like your pistols or the baseball bat, and plus just playing on small maps makes for getting challenges done a lot quicker. The trade-off is with playing small maps and playing hardcore is you're gonna die a lot more. So again, your KD and your win-loss and everything else is gonna drop. And on top of that, there's people doing various things. There could be people sitting in the back of the map with a sniper trying to get long shots. There could be people sitting in doorways waiting for you to kind of get real close to them when you turn the doorway to try to get point blank kills. Whatever the case might be, you're going to be dealing with some annoying things, especially on super small maps like Stakeout, for example. You're going to be dealing with a lot of shotguns. You're going to be dealing with a lot of melee weapons. You're going to be dealing with a lot of people throwing smokes down. It's just inevitable. As well as with like hardcore, you're going to get the occasional teammate killing you once in a while. If that's the case, please don't be the person to kill your teammate back. 9 times out of 10, if your teammate kills you, it's by an accident. They're not intentionally like trying to kill you. They just did it by an accident. So don't go hunting them down, trying to kill them. It's hardcore. It's going to happen. Let's just grow up and, move on. But yeah, if you want to speed up the process, definitely play hardcore on the smaller maps. You don't have to. You can play the normal maps. That's perfectly fine. You can go at your own pace. But if you want to speed things up, definitely hardcore on the face-off mosh pit or on Nuketown or any other super small map will definitely help to speed things up. Moreover, I suggest using the Recon combat specialty to be able to get free wall hacks when spawning in if you are playing on those smaller maps. I feel like on bigger maps, Recon isn't as useful just because people are so spread out and so far away. It's not really going to help you. But on those smaller maps, because it's so small and people are, like right there and they're so close, that Recon ability giving you those free wall hacks when you first spawn in can actually help you to get free kills here and there. And if you can get a free headshot on someone, that's one more headshot going towards your challenge. So you might as well use it to your advantage to help you out. So definitely use the Recon combat specialty. If you don't know what I mean, pretty much you just run 3 blue perks and you'll get the Recon combat specialty. So yeah, just run 3 blue perks. It doesn't matter what 3 they are, just run 3 blue perks and you'll get the Recon combat specialty. Additionally, if you are going to prestige, you need to consider when to do it and how to properly use your permanent unlocks, as this will be super important. There were times where I was close to completing a weapon, but it was a weapon I unlocked at like level 49 per se, and I could have prestiged, but I decided just to finish that weapon first before I prestiged, so I didn't have to perma unlock it. Now, given you don't have to do that. If you want to prestige and wait till you unlock that weapon, you can, but it's going to make the grind a lot harder and it's going to make it a lot more time consuming. So I suggest, again, if you are able to prestige, but you're working on a weapon that's unlocked at per se like level 50, you either have to complete that weapon before you prestige or permanently unlock that weapon with your permanent unlock token and then continue to work on that weapon. Because if not, I'm telling you, it's going to make the grind a lot harder and a lot more time consuming. So definitely use your permanent unlocks wisely and, just use them on those weapons you unlock in later ranks. For example, I know guns like the AS Val or the final SMG or the final LMG or the baseball bat. Weapons like those you should permanently unlock so that you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry about unlocking them and then, oh shoot, now I have to prestige. You'll just have them permanently unlocked and you're good to go. Also, a few good perma unlocks are Gunfighter. Gunfighter's very good for those weaker weapons. You could add extra attachments to them to make them a little bit better. Perk Greed is also great. Having more perks is always a bonus. So Perk Greed is a good one. And then honestly, for me, stims are a really good pick. I feel like stims are really great for keeping me alive longer and, allowing me to get more of my challenges done because I'm staying alive and getting more kills. So yeah, stims are also a great pick. You also should know that any blueprint you unlock, whether you unlocked it through the battle pass or you got it through buying a bundle or you unlocked it through one of the prestige levels, because when you prestige and you reach a certain level, you can unlock blueprints and what's not. If you get a blueprint of any sort, that automatically perma unlocks that weapon. So if you don't have any perma unlocks and there's a gun that you really need and you can't perma unlock it, you might want to consider getting a cheap bundle that has that weapon in it so you can get it perma unlocked. Or maybe it's in the battle pass and you want to wait till you get it in the battle pass to get it perma unlocked. Whatever the case might be, you need to know if you get any blueprint, it will perma unlock that weapon. So I know, like in the season 1 battle pass, you could get that final LMG, you can get that perma unlocked. If you unlock it through the battle pass, you can get the baseball bat perma unlocked. And there's a few other weapons that you can get perma unlocked just by going through the battle pass and completing the battle pass. You'll get a bunch of weapons perma unlocked. In a sense, it's pay to win, which kind of sucks, but it's in the game. It's not getting taken out, so you might as well utilize it and use it to your advantage. Furthermore, the grind will take a long time, so don't stress out about how fast you're doing it. Really just go at your own pace and stay dedicated to getting it done. You don't have to get it done as quickly as possible. If it takes you a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever the case, that's okay. Doesn't matter how fast you get the camo. Just so long at the end of the day, you get dark matter. That's all that matters, right? So just go at your own pace and stay dedicated and you'll get the camo. It's that simple. Don't stress out about how fast you're doing it. I just went at my own pace. I wasn't trying to get it in a day or, in a week or even a month. Like it took me quite some time to be able to get this camo, but that's okay. Like as a normal person, it's going to take some time. You're not going to have all the time in the world to be able to get the camo. So just take your time, go at your own pace, and you'll unlock it. Moving on, I think having a solid reason to why you want to get the camo is really good because it'll give you motive to be able to keep going and to get the camo. What I mean by that is, let's say your reason to want to get the camo is you just really like dark matter, you really like how it looks, you don't really want to buy any mastercraft weapons or buy any other CDL bundles that give you camos. You just want this dark matter camo and run dark matter camo on all your guns, so that's why you want to get it. Or maybe your buddy is also going after the camo and you want to have like a little competition with him and you want to see who could get the camo faster. Then that could be a motive to maybe get the camo, have like a fun little competition with your friends. Or maybe you just want to challenge yourself. Maybe you just want to see if you're capable of doing it and you want to see if you're actually able to achieve a mastery camo and achieve dark matter. Whatever the case might be, just have a good reason to go after it. Don't just go after it because you see everyone else going after it, or don't just go after it just because your friend wants to go after it but you don't really want to do it, but you're like, oh well, my friend's doing it so I might as well do it. Go after it because you really want the camo, right? Have a good reason to go after it. It'll keep you motivated and will keep pushing you to get that camo. Likewise, I would use attachments on your weapons to help with recoil control and accuracy. Also, ADS speed is really good too. I will put the ideal kind of class setup for a few weapons to allow you to get like kind of a basis on what to use on your weapons. So I'll put those up on screen just so you could see a couple classes that I personally use and, you know, like the attachments I used on my weapons. So you can see kind of what helped me to be able to get like headshots easier and just to get challenges done easier in general. But I definitely suggest using attachments that help with any sort of recoil control and accuracy and ADS speed as well. And then obviously having like a nice clear optic is really good. Optic's always going to be a personal preference kind of thing. There's a bunch of different optics in the game, so you know, choose the one that works best for you. But I know like the Kepler Microflex and the Axe Spot Reflex, I think it's called, are like kind of the two main ones that a lot of people are using. So yeah, I'll throw up a couple class setups for you just to kind of get an idea of what attachments you should be using. Moreover, I had already kind of touched on this, but just to kind of reiterate, you don't have to do the DLC guns if you don't want to. You only have to get 33 guns Dark Spine to get Dark Matter. So if you're taking a little bit to get the grind done and there's a bunch of DLC weapons out, don't stress about it. You don't have to do all of them. You just have to get the 33 guns Dark Spine, whatever guns those might be, and you're good to go. Additionally, if you are doing the baseball bat, one of the special challenges for it is to get hot swap kills. And I don't know if it's just bugged or, you know, at least when I was doing it, I don't know if it was bugged or what the case might be, but I was having a really hard time getting this challenge done. So if you are doing the baseball bat and you are also having a hard time getting the challenge done, what worked for me and what really helped me to get it done a lot quicker is by getting a kill with your primary weapon first. So whatever your primary weapon is, you get a kill with that. Then you switch to your baseball bat and get a kill with your baseball bat. That like automatically counts. And if you do that, you will fly through the challenge pretty quickly. So if you are stuck on the hot swap kills for the baseball bat, do that. Get a kill with your primary weapon and then switch to your baseball bat, get a kill with your baseball bat, and it should count. Furthermore, I know earlier I said that hardcore, especially on small maps, is definitely very beneficial to kind of speeding up the process. But again, if you want to play core, that's perfectly fine. You could do this whole grind playing core. But I suggest at least doing the weaker weapons like the pistols and the baseball bat in hardcore. You can do everything else in core, but for the weaker weapons, I would suggest doing hardcore. If you really don't like hardcore and you're really against doing hardcore, that's perfectly fine. You could still do the pistols and the baseball bat in core, but it'll just make life a lot easier if you do the weaker weapons like the pistols and the baseball bat in hardcore. Again, it's just a suggestion. You could do everything in core if you want, but if you want to speed things up a little bit, hardcore is definitely the way to go. Furthermore, sometimes taking a break from the small maps like Nuketown or the face-off maps is good. You can always just switch it up and play base maps for a little bit. So if you are someone who decided to start playing hardcore in like face-off mosh pit or in Nuketown or whatever else small maps release throughout the year, and you're just playing on the small maps for a while and you're kind of getting sick of it, that's perfectly fine. Switch it up. Go play the base maps for a little bit. Go play regular hardcore hardpoint or just regular hardpoint in general. Whatever the case might be, like it's good to switch things up sometimes, and it's kind of needed sometimes to kind of switch it up a little bit. It's good for you and your own sanity to sometimes playing on the small maps, especially if it's just one small map over and over and over again, can just get so boring. So definitely utilize the small maps, but to a certain extent, like you don't have to be always playing them. You could definitely switch it up and play some base maps as well. Moving on, if Stakeout 24/7 is available, then you should definitely play it to get your close range weapons done, like your shotguns, your pistols, and your melee weapons, as Stakeout is a super small and hectic map like Shipment. It's pretty much the Shipment of this game. It's just super small, super hectic. There's a lot going on, And because of that, it's really good for your close range weapons. And it's also really, really good for getting things like double kills and triple kills and, whatever else. And you're going to need to get double kills for the gold challenge. And you're going to need to get triple kills for the dark spine challenge. So I highly recommend, if Stakeout 24/7 is available, utilize it while it's out. Honestly, I literally got all of my dark spine challenges done by playing Stakeout 24/7. Literally all of them. All 33 weapons, I got all of them dark spine by playing Stakeout 24/7. Just because it's so easy to get triple kills on that map. I just grinded out playing Stakeout 24/7 while it was available and got all my triple kills done. So if you see Stakeout 24/7, utilize it. And if there's a playlist for core, there's always going to be a hardcore version. So personally, I played the hardcore version of Stakeout 24/7. The way you find that is you just go to find match. You go to like the part where you could kind of choose what game modes you want. You scroll over to hardcore, you scroll to the bottom, and you should find Stakeout 24/7, like the hardcore version. You just click on that, queue up for that, and you could play hardcore Stakeout 24/7. Definitely recommend it. Stakeout 24/7 is just, it makes life so much easier. So if you see it, utilize it. It'll definitely help. Finally, the last tip I have is to get the point blank kills for any bullet weapons. The easiest way I found to get those done is by laying down in doorways and kind of waiting for enemies to kind of turn the corner, go to walk into the doorway, and then they walk into you, and then you just kind of gun them down and you'll get a point blank. Because for a reason, the point blank kills in this game, you have to be like very, very close to the enemy. So I definitely recommend playing the small maps for this challenge, especially Stakeout. If Stakeout is available, whether you see it in the maps you could vote for, or if Stakeout 24/7 is available, whatever the case might be, if you're able to play Stakeout for the point blank kills. The point blank kills will go by so much quicker in Stakeout. So there's 3 lanes to the map. On the lane where it has kind of the room that goes out into the balcony and then back into another room, in that lane, whichever side you spawn on, lay in the room that looks out onto the balcony and just wait for someone to walk out onto the balcony and then go to walk into the room and gun them down. It's so easy. You can get all your point blank kills done that way, and I highly recommend doing it like that. And yeah, so those are all my tips I have to be able to get dark matter and to make getting dark matter a lot easier, and to just make doing the grind a lot easier and getting all the challenges done a lot easier, and just to make your life a lot easier. Again, if you're just a normal person, just an average guy or average girl, or just an average person playing the game, I promise you could get dark matter. It's possible. If I'm able to do it, you could do it too. It might take you a little bit longer than me, or you might get it done faster than me. Whatever the case might be, you could go after the grind. You don't have to be a streamer. You don't have to be a pro player. You don't have to be playing the game for 12 plus hours a day. You don't have to make it your job. You could be playing the game casually, play for 2, 3, 4 hours a day, whatever the case might be, and you can get the grind done. It's going to take some time, but that's okay. So yeah, those are all the tips I have for you. I really, really hope that I was able to help you out, and that all these tips were able to help you out, or at least one of these tips were able to help you out. And I really, really hope that you were able to learn something. If you did learn anything, or any of my tips did help you out, or even if you did enjoy this video, then please give the video a like. And if you want more content like this, then please subscribe to the channel. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And yeah, bye guys. Have a good one.